My box cutter's a bit rusty, so this might take a little bit of time. Okay. Ah, pretty good, huh? Alright, so... Alright. So we got the box art, and there's likely some paper inside. Warning, and a user manual. Aw, no catalog. Oh, and there's one of the little infrared security things on it. I'll scan those up, don't worry. And then we're gonna move on, and it looks like all we have left is some sample BBs, .12, a magazine, and then we have the gun itself, which comes with a spare magazine. That's pretty good. So it actually comes with the safety on. The safety was on down, so that seems kind of smart. So now we're just gonna take a general overview on this, and we'll see what I think. Right. So before I do that, I'm gonna go over very briefly the components that came with this gun. Well, the case is the case. I mean, usually people will just bust it open in half, but I've managed to preserve it, and I can put all the components back inside. I did that using a razor blade. Magazines, comes with 2 of them like I mentioned earlier, and how you activate it is you pull down on this follower, which is really just a bit too recessed for its own good. Move it to your guy's right, and then using your pellets, you're going to pull this down, or push it down first. It's actually kind of a really satisfying noise, isn't it? And then you're going to hold it down, and then just put your pellets inside by hand with the speed loader, what have you. Like I said, this is a standard capacity magazine that holds 12 rounds apparently. I'm not going to bother to check because, I mean, it definitely holds over 10. And then once you've got it all loaded up like so, you're just going to move this tab to the left, and it will engage the... Alright, there we go. So you hear that click, and the magazine's ready to go, fully loaded. So that's the magazine. This little warning slip, this is just like a terms of sale thing, so you can ignore that. I don't think this is even for the customer. I think this might be for the... I don't know, this is just like a legal waiver disclaimer thing. You've got just a metric fuckload of warnings on this page. This is the outside of the manual, user manual. And the instruction manual is a very brief dual language, English and French, very brief and scant overview of how to operate it. I mean, it is a spring pistol, but at the same time, I feel like they could have done a little bit more with it. God, you guys are gonna be blown the fuck away by the Toy Star M1921 manual. It's like a fucking textbook. So, I think this is just a little too short. And then there's the European warning on the back side, but... And then... These are really some odd liner notes. I know Cybergun started to go downhill during the 2010s, but I mean, this is clearly a sign that they were starting to... they were definitely going downhill at this point. There's no advertising anywhere on the liner notes like there usually is. Anybody who's ever opened up one of those older ones knows that they would usually have at least the other pistols. I mean, they would even have them in the same color. They would have, like, if you got the pink one, well, I don't think they had any pink guns, but if you had, like, the black version or the tan version, they would have the corresponding colors, whether it was clear or not, advertised on the back, but they don't have. They just have the pellets here, but. So I'm gonna put to test these claims. High energy pistol with velocity up to 328 FPS with a .12 gram pellet. But this is bizarre. It says our highest powered spring pistol. But back in like 2009, 2008, there were several other spring pistols from KWC that were advertised actually as having a higher FPS than the KWC P226 model. So maybe they did upgrade the spring, maybe they didn't. We're gonna find out. But now, is this easy pump? Definitely. I mean, there are others that are way harder than that. So, I mean, relative to what, I don't know, but personally I think it is easy to pump. Okay, joules, power, maximum range 40 meters. So 40 meters is, and that's about the range that I've done previous shooting tests for. So I think they actually understated the range on these guns, which is just completely uncharacteristic for Cybergun to do. But I'd say that you could probably stretch that out just a little bit more. Again, spring pistols especially, they don't have a stock, so you can't really aim them that well. But I would definitely say you could probably push this to 15, 60 yards, because this does have a hop-up unit, and it's got enough power to fire a pellet that far out. Definitely 50 meters. Okay, accuracy. I want to go over this. I do this in every video I make about a Cybergun product, and this just pisses me off. So, on every Cybergun product, they're going to have this little rating called accuracy and precision. And you'll notice it says 25 out of 25 cents. So, most people assume that means it can hit it 25 times out of 25 times. Again, with no other data, but I mean, perfect numbers, right? That sounds pretty impressive. But then in a footnote, it says accuracy can hit a quarter from a distance of 25 feet with .20 gram pellets. So, it just says can. Well, if it's consistent and you're lucky enough, of course you can hit a target or a quarter from 25 feet. That's half the distance of my shooting range in the basement, almost half. Shit, I did that with the KWC M9. I had the day off and I said, fuck it, I'm going to try this out. Sure enough, I could do it. It's not hard. But again, it's just sly marketing. It's nothing to brag about. Alright, I think that covers the... Oh, the date. This is a 2011 edition of the SIG-Sauer P226 in spring action. So, I'll let you decide what to do with those. Maybe you can use them in one of those grenades, or like a landmine or something. But like I said, definitely not recommended for even a spring pistol like this one, because this is actually, as much as I've talked shit about it so far, this is actually an okay spring pistol. Definitely one of the better ones for performance, and then build materials too. So like we saw earlier, Cybergun claims that it can hit a quarter at 25 feet. We know it can do that. But let's add a little bit of spice to this claim. We're going to see how many times out of 25 that I can hit the quarter that I have superimposed over the target. So we're going to take a look at that after I patch it up. Okay, so I've got about 10 pellets in my magazine. A few of them dropped out, but we're going to see how many times out of 10 shots I can hit the quarter drawing that I made on my target. All of the holes are patched up, so let's see what this baby can do. And I am aiming my sights just below the quarter. that's it. Let's go see how he did. So as you saw, most of the pellets were on the bottom half of the gun, and I was aiming for the quarter part of the target, so that means my shots were falling a little bit low. So I have decided to try again, but this time I'm going to aim above the quarter area, and we'll see if that improves the score. So here we go. Okay, so that was aiming a little bit above the quarter area. Let's go see how we did. Okay, so here are some concluding thoughts on the SIG-Sauer P226 by KWC Cybergun. I paid $17 for it, brand new on eBay, and for that price, I think it was a really good value, especially since I wanted to evaluate the entire thing. And it was brand new too, so I got to be able to unbox it for you guys. Really, that was a great value, like I said earlier. But would I recommend this to someone who wants a spring pistol, the best one? No. But if you really want a spring P226 and you don't want to blow a lot of money on like a gas one or an electric one, I mean this would be okay. It all just depends on what you're using it for. If you're competing with other spring guns, or maybe the weaker L-pegs, this would probably compete pretty well, but in a real airsoft game, there's really not going to be much hope for you, unless you're very skilled. So that was the SIG-Sauer P226. Hope you guys liked it. Thanks for watching.